Oh, hey, Internet. So, if you've watched us since the beginning, you'll know that we often explore the boundaries of what could be considered a root beer. This time, we're blowing past those boundaries into things that are almost but not quite entirely unlike root beer. Seltzer waters. And this.
I'm gonna party like I did when I was aging. Too much root beer, stay up late. The Adam glasses, root beer around me. Yeah, the Adam glass, root beer around me.
So we're going to start with this. These A&W singles to go, like the old Crystal Lights. The instructions say to add it to a bottle of water. They are little packets of powder that we will shake up in this bottle and find out what it tastes like. I anticipate that it will not somehow magically be carbonated, but will be a flat root beer. Oh, here we go. In fact, naturally and artificially flavored, non-carbonated, low-calorie drink mix. Added benefit of being sugar-free. According to the box, produced with genetic engineering. So, step one, open your bottle of water. According to the box, sip your bottle of water to make room for the powder. All right, get that in there. I suppose I get to decide how much of the sweetener we're going to put in, considering I just spilled a small amount of it. It won't be the entire packet. All right. Pour. Now we shake. And for some reason, shake and mix are separate. Now it says mix a 20-ounce bottle of water for a milder flavor. So, it ends up with a very root beer-like color. So they've got that going for it. It ends up with a fairly root beer-like smell. Even a little bit of head on it. Oh man. Yeah. That is admittedly refreshingly ice cold. Flat A&W. Flavors pretty spot on. Very vanilla-y, very creamy, but creamy in flavor, not in texture, which is not something we get from a lot of our root beers. But yeah, it's definitely still water predominantly, and of course, all root beer is. Most of what we drink is. But this is still water, not carbonated water, which definitely has a different texture, different flavor. So, if you're looking for a completely sugar-free root beer experience, these might be alright. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Surprisingly, not bad at all. I'll admit, I was expecting this to be a lot worse than it is. It's got the same sweetener as most diet drinks, but usually if I drink like a Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper, something like that, I can taste that, and it kind of burns my throat a little bit. But I'm not getting the diet soda taste with this either. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm almost confused at how not bad that is. Hey, what's next? The New York Seltzer Company. This is a revived brand. Father and son duo out of New York made it, I believe, from 84 to 96 or so. 10 years. Had a variety of fruit-flavored seltzer waters. It was revived in the early 2000s by a company out of LA in a sort of reverse Pace Picante situation where New York Seltzer is not a product of New York City. Fancy that. NewYorkSeltzer.com if you're interested. The revived version has more soda-oriented flavors. A cola. Obviously a root beer. Some lemon lime stuff. There we go. I found this at World Market, which I assume carries it nationally if you're interested. A good root beer smell to that. Interesting. Also not a bad root beer flavor. It's clear, and that throws you a little bit, but it actually tastes like some of the probably lower rated root beers that I've had on the show. The bite of the seltzer is not too strong. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Carbonated water, cane sugar, citric acid, natural flavors. I mean, it's got the same ingredients list of half the root beers that we've had. That is definitely drinkable. And it's the flavor's a lot stronger than I wonder if maybe the flavor of that is stronger because I've got the sugar crystals from this still in my mouth. But no, it definitely tastes like it smells. So, yeah, this isn't bad at all. So again, it's pretty vanilla heavy, creaminess in flavor, but not in texture. This one feels a little heavier. It's got that seltzer, that carbonated water in it, so it doesn't. It's got the texture of a soda. It's got a texture of a real root beer. In a literal blind taste test, I wouldn't know that was seltzer water. If I couldn't see that it was clear, I think it was a root beer. Our last one, Fizz & Company Seltzers, is a Kroger grocery store brand of La Croix ripoffs, basically. I find that the comparable flavors to La Croix, the Kroger brand is usually a stronger flavor. Their fruit ones, there's the running joke about La Croix's new flavors being sat in a truck beside some strawberries for a few hours or something like that. La Croix really doesn't have strong flavors. The Kroger brands usually are a little stronger, but not in a soda variety, not in an artificial variety, still taste refreshing. So we'll see what the root beer is like here. Smells like a seltzer. This one, the New York Seltzer, did not smell like a seltzer. This smells like a seltzer. You can smell the sodium. You can smell kind of a tutti fruitiness. And it tastes like a seltzer. That is predominantly seltzer water. Yeah, that is... I had to buy a 12-pack of this. I'm not happy about that decision right now. Trick my roommate into drinking some. So the root beer in this tastes like it's 4 blocks away. There is something there. The seltzer of it isn't as hard-hitting as a lot of seltzer waters are. But whereas with the New York Seltzer, I might confuse that for a root beer. With the A&W, I would certainly confuse it for a flat A&W. This, I would never think is that. This tastes like if you went to get a fountain root beer and 2 seconds after you hit the fountain, the syrup ran out, so the rest of your cup was just predominantly seltzer, carbonated water. That tastes like the root beer flavoring is about 1 part per million. It's not great. It's not bad. If you're looking for something that is predominantly seltzer flavored, go for it. It makes seltzer a little more palatable. I think if you're going to go that route, I would actually just recommend seltzer and bitters of some sort, because it tastes a little better than that. I really think probably the big difference between this one and this one is that the New York Seltzer definitely has sugar in it. And really, once you've got carbonated water and sugar together, you've got a commercial soda. So, flavor, sugar, carbonated water. This isn't really a seltzer. It's a clear root beer. This, no sugar. So it tastes like carbonated water and flavoring. And that's something. But it's not a soda. Not as we use the word soda, at least. I think the only way I'm going to get through this is to mix sugar into it. And that seems like it's defeating the purpose. So, of our root beer adjacent things, our 2 seltzers and our A&W drink mix, as far as root beer adjacency, this New York Seltzer from Los Angeles, get a rope, is really probably just a root beer by any meaningful definition of the word root beer. At least today. I mean, in the U.S., you can't even sell root beer with sassafras in it anyway. So it's sugar, carbonated water, and artificial and natural flavorings. Yeah. And ultimately, it's shooting for the same root beer flavor, in essence, that the A&W is. That's not a soda. It's flavored water. It's flavored still water. But it's sugar. And it's root beer flavorings. It's drinkable. So that got number 2. Oddly enough, I was really expecting that to be the worst of the bunch. Instead, the worst of the bunch is Kroger's Fizz & Company Seltzers. Now, it does say, admittedly, to their credit, with a hint of root beer flavoring. But that hint isn't like a YouTube walkthrough. That hint is calling Nintendo's 900 number in 1991 and spending $20 of your parents' money trying to figure out how to get into the Hidden Palace in Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. It's past. It's just not great. So it's maybe kind of growing on me as a product. No sweeteners, no calories, no sugars. It is not a root beer substitute by any means, but New York Seltzer is caloric. It's got real sugar in it. The A&W stuff is just off-putting from its whole inception, but it's still caloric. It's, it's 5 calories. That's not too bad. Versus New York Seltzers, what do we got? 100 calories in a 10-ounce bottle. 0 calories on this, and if that's what you're going for, if you're shooting this out as some sort of diet thing or to avoid the sugar coma that you had the last time you recorded an episode of your root beer review show, maybe that's the best one. But maybe I'm just getting existential about what root beer is. Yeah, think about this.